Hey everyone, this is Mindy and welcome back. Today's video we are doing some foiling using the Pinkfresh Studio September 2022 holiday release. So the products that I'm going to be using today is the Brushed Sentiments holiday set. Now this is a stamp, die, hot foil plate, and stencil, but I'm just going to be using the hot foil plates and the coordinating dies. I'm also using this ornaments set. This also has a stamp, die, and stencil. I'm just going to be using the hot foil plate. Normally, I would love to use the stencils and the coordinating die, but I want to just use this arrangement as my background. I'm starting with Hammermill cardstock and trimming out a piece of the silver Glimmer foil about the size of my foil plate. I'm placing the foil pretty side up, and then my hot foil plate is pretty side down and holding that in place with a low tack tape. Now my Glimmer system is already warmed up. That green light is on, so I know it's ready. I'm taking my paper and flipping that so my hot foil plate is touching the Glimmer system. Then that green light is going to blink, and when it's nice and ready and hot, it's going to stay solid. So I am taking my shim and my plate that came with the Glimmer system, placing that on top, and then I'm going to disengage that from the platform and run that through my Platinum 6 die cut machine. I'm carefully going to remove that tape and carefully, because it is warm, pick up that hot foil, and then we have this beautiful ornament design in the silver Glimmer foil. Sorry, it's going to white out for just a second there. It is really shiny and I love it. I'm going to repeat all of those same steps for the Brushed Sentiments holiday hot foil plates. There's 2 of them, so I can complete a greeting. Now, you don't have to hold your plates down to your cardstock like I do. That is just my personal preference. It just ensures that nothing is going to shift when I'm moving things around because I tend to bump into things. I'm slightly klutzy like that, and I have a very small space. Now, revealing hot foil is like heat embossing to me. There's something so magical about it, and I just love it. It makes me so happy when I do it. I'm going to take the coordinating die for each of the sentiment sets and die cut those out, and then set it off on the side to work on my background. On to another favorite part of mine, which is ink blending. So I'm starting at the bottom of the cardstock and I'm starting ink blending on the Slumber ink. Now this is out of a group of 4 shades of this blue, and I started with the lightest color. Now I'm coming in with Blue Jay, which is the second lightest or third darkest. And I'm ink blending that right above that light color. So I'm creating this gradient effect as it's going to go down my card. Next, I'm bringing in Sapphire, and this is going to go towards the top. And I'm using a flat blending brush to do this. This is my personal preference when I'm adding a ton of color to a background, is using a flat blending brush. But whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what you use. Now I'm finishing this off with Stargazer and just kind of bringing that down so it transitions nicely. Now I'm taking a paper towel and just buffing over the top of that foil since that does resist the ink. I'm going to trim my panel down just to clean up those edges, and I'm going to add some splatters to this. So this is the Hero Arts White Glimmer Metallic ink. I'm also adding a couple drops of water, mixing those together with my paintbrush and sprinkling this over the entire background. I'm going to bring out my scoreboard, and I have a piece of white cardstock here that is 110 pound weight, which is what I like to use for card bases. And I'm creating this into an A2 size card. So it's going to measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just folding that in half and reinforcing that fold with my bone folder. I also trimmed another piece of 110 pound cardstock to the same size as my panel, which is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and added that together so it's going to give me just a smidge of dimension. Then I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of the card, and I have a really nice white border. Now you did see that I had added foam squares behind my 2 sentiments here. This is Season's Greetings, but there are plenty of different sentiments to choose from since we foiled and die cut them all at once. Now, one more finishing touch that I want to do is bring out these iridescent clear drops. These are gorgeous. So I added a few of them above and below the sentiment, and I'm just using my Connect glue that I have in a fine tip bottle. That finishes off my card project for today. I love this whole kind of wintry vibe that this card is giving. I love these shades of blue, and of course, I love the hot foiling. This is just a couple of the products out of this amazing release. I will have my supply list listed down below in the video description and over on my blog as well. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Here are a few other videos I think you might like.